Little spoiler-free guide for the next segment just says, first the talkies! First the talkies, then the walkies. Okay. I'm so sorry, Mr. A. I'm sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I forgot to open this. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother Neil was only trying to save me. Oh, fuck. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. It was literally in the file that we've read several times, Phoenix. What do you fucking mean? These people are clueless. We got questions. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. Did he think she was Lana? I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? Oh, does this not happen to you, Phoenix? Are you fucking blessed with that? We'll ask about the permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Wow. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. Well, yeah, you literally just witnessed a person kill a person, so... When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma, you've been through so much. This is nuts! Like, you knew there were gonna be twists and turns, but holy shit! I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. Well, yeah, clearly you were traumatized, honey. That's a normal, like, brain response to trauma. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. After the incident, let's see. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why Lana why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. It's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Fuck, dude. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course, this happened to the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. What? She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Well, I guess that's where we're going. Move. Oh, wait, no, it's detention center. Lana, Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana. Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Today's trial. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. I guess here. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right? Hey, Jose, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place, when he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. Okay. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages, and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. That looks like the handle of the knife that we have in our court record evidence, by the way. I could show it to you now, in fact. This one. Does it not? Yep, same one. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor, and it smelled blood. Smelled blood. 3 bodies. I only see 2 right now. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. Well, yeah, you saw your sister on the floor. You thought she was dead. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Okay, and then let's ask about this. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Oh, I was supposed to ask all this first. Whoops. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. I think that's here, yeah. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. The chief of detectives seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right, we can come back here later. Well, I think I needed to go here before I could go to where I was trying to, though. Right? Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's alright, but in the initial autopsy report a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Oh shit. The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Skye. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Oh, I'm doing his fucking accent for everybody now, okay. Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me what happened to my sister. Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. Alright, let's ask about this. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You mean the King of Prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. Bless you.
Thanks. By the way, I finished the race level already, so...
Oh. Wow.
Yep. It was a nice fast one.
I know, I heard you like talking again and I was like, did you not do the race? There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict, but someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. I was trying to go to the chief's office, but it's like not letting me go. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. If you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. What the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. Didn't he just say not to? I'm so confused. Okay, chief's office. There's a piano and shit. That's over the top. Whoa, where am I? In the chief's office, silly. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Buck. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. I never could remember where C was. Look, reading music is hard. I don't blame her. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? Why is he so obsessed with that? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full, too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Photo at the awards ceremony of Gant, Lana, and Neil. I don't know. Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go out together. Oh. But this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore. All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet after all. What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. Hey pal, Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather, my feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? It's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Emma. Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Rev, welcome back! You went to go see the Mario movie?
We're gonna see that tonight.
Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never failed to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
It's so good. I'm looking forward to it.
Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What made him take to serial killing? One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So, it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed the accident and then killed a lady that saw the second crime and a kid walked by. Oh boy. Okay. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness, yeah, was Emma. AKA Emma. He was having a bad day, yeah, for real. There was something I'm supposed to present him with. The murder weapon, I think, is what it was. About this. Hey, it has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of? What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, detective? Quick, before you forget again. Wait, why am I still in here? Oh. Murder weapon. This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus it had his fingerprints on it, too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. Inside of Marshall? That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. Yep. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Stabbed in the back, died from punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound. Switchblade knife updated. The broken tip was found in the victim's body, belonged to murderer Joe Dark. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? Oops. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. Oh shit. That seems reckless. What, really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into the office. Wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. What about the picture we just got? The vase in the background! Figured it out. Okay. Present. Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut. I'll keep that in mind. Sheesh. Oh, well. Do I show the vase? Well, that jar. I think I've seen it before somewhere. Yes. Somewhere. Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Almost like, because that's what you were staring at the times you were in his office and he was yelling at you. Chief Gant? Where could I have seen that before? Oh, now I show him the picture. God, it's such a specific order you have to do this in. What? Okay. Oh? Underground parking lot? Okay. No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow.
After that, head to the prosecutor's room.
Okay. I was about to go there. That's literally what I was hovering over when you said it. Okay. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? Humph. I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Forged evidence. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error, my responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work, so tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Tomorrow's trial. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First last year's trial and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. It looks like the same paper. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? The list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture, something seemed strange about it. Am I supposed to show it to him? This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall, he had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Oh, it had a sword on it. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. Sorry, my heating pad got too hot. One day he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd he claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Objection. Hey, Teufel, how's it going? Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right? Llamas, enjoy your shower. Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. King of Prosecutors trophy update in the court record. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed against behest, giving it its current form. Behest?
That's a word, it's just a word.
Huh. Alright, the day of the crime. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to. Interesting, this chief is feeling real fishy. That's right. Do I need to present with something else?
There's something for you to examine.
Oh. The paper underneath. Oh, Toyful, you figured out all the math and layout you want for your project. You just need the supplies now. That's amazing. I'm excited. What's it gonna be? 10-inch wide by 10-inch long by 12 and a quarter foot tall. 4 doors and 2 large cubby holes inside. Ooh, that will be fun. Do you just need to get wood and like put it together? Let's see. Phoenix says, I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, right? I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done, and no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation, I wonder if I can use it for anything? I mean, I think he would notice us keeping it. Do I need to go somewhere else?
Now that you've gotten the letter of resignation,
oh, yeah, I went back to the parking lot and there's some question marks.
Yep.
Okay. Excuse me. Oh, it's Angel. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Starr, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? kind of like the first person who sucked a cow's nipple to discover milk. Angel, I read that out loud. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness? Yeah, you fucking made it up, and we knew it from the beginning. The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife, no matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Starr's hatred towards Lana, it all dates back to 2 years ago. Right, so you framed her. Joe Dark, that's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Oops. Nope. Pressed the wrong button. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism, in particular, was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He'd produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done? I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn.
So that's what we have.
That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way. Lana? The prosecutor's office. Oh, right. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. God, my nose is so itchy. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. Okay, we probably need to move to make the detective change his mind. That's what I was thinking. But then I was trying to go over other stuff too, just in case. What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way. Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious. Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they've pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence, but we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me, it's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective, thank you. Gumshoe's ID tucked swiftly into pocket. Back to the chief's office. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Click. Beep. We're in. If anyone finds us now, Detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Eek! Gah! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah, Detective Gumshoe! What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking, I was just worried something might go wrong, so I came too. If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Gumshoe's ID crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana on that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert. He told us so himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes? I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. Sorry, this guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think... Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? I mean, he seems real sus. Chief Gant, so it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go, ignoring me again. We have a lot going on here. Can see pretty far from 15 stories up. If you were to drop that suit of armor from here... At first the chief wanted to use stained glass for this window. Really? Why didn't he? They say he changed his mind because he wouldn't be able to see the view. Oh. Stained glass or not, it's a huge window. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons? Sure is, pal. The chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent of my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh, be careful of what you say. Who knows? The chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. Wow, look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. Yeah, it's the evidence list that we saw when Edgeworth was talking about it. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence. A list of evidence. In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long. That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. This sounds familiar. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? Wait, it's the other half?
Bum, bum, bum on the organ in the background.
I just thought it was the same list. I knew it. The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Evidence list added to the court record. Wait, why did it not? Oh, okay. We found this inside the drawer. A list of evidence from the SL9 incident. Mr. Edgeworth had the other half of that list. What would this list be doing here? We better look a little more into this list. Okay. Imagine if the dun-dun-dun happened from the organ at this moment. I mean, CO tried to make it so, at least. Oh, should I turn off CO cam?
I guess so.
I just love that. There we go. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. Looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. I'm gonna try it. Splee, you're a little late. That's okay. I'm scared. Is it the 7s? Yup. Probably don't make it all the same number. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 7777777? That ID number? I think you're 17 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away? Look, it's the other piece of the vase! A shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too! A handprint on a leather cloth? What could that be? This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective. Oh, I have to get out of examine first. Present. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Right? That was like 2 days ago, maybe. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards had an SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found? You mean this one that was in the safe? Yes, that one that was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can piece this together again, it'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. There we go. Okay. There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. Oh, shit, but why? In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But... hey, guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. It had like longer lines of blood on it. Yeah. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line. That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Unstable jar updated in the court record. Evidence from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Blood traces. If I'm fired, I won't be able to give you any information, so that's why I have to get it all in my system now. You understand, don't you? Don't be so negative, detective. We do want you to share your information, though. Oh, who am I fooling? I've never had anything useful to share to begin with. Arg! Got to stay positive. Well, I wanted to connect that, I guess, but... I'm trying to flip it the other way. Yo! Is this the drawing that Emma did? Trying to remember what she saw? I wonder what this is. It looks like someone drew some kind of sketch here. What is it? Did you find something? I can't make it out. I better keep quiet about it for now. Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing. Why are your eyes moving about like that, Mr. Wright? I better not forget about this picture. Well, okay. Maybe I show it to him. Oh, okay. Something else is bugging me more than that. Take a look at the back of that form, pal. The back? Oh. Well, I already showed. I already looked at that.
Present the fingerprint to him.
This?
No, the fingerprinting set.
Oh, okay. I would have never thought of that. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh. I knew that, the one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor? Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then, once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. Oh, good. The DS part of this. Oh, nope. Oh, it's like a full fingerprint. Oh, okay, hold on. I thought we were doing the whole hand.
No, just choose the middle finger.
Oh, I see. It like zoomed in on where I selected.
Yes.
I did not understand that at first, apparently. This is very different, not on like the touch screen of the DS.
Yeah.
Than it was intended to be, I believe. Okay. No, how can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Psst, hey you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here. Maybe you should hold on to this. Piece of cloth folded and added to the court record. Found in Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something. But what? Bears Emma Sky's prints. Well, was that any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Oh, fuck. Isn't that right, you in the coat? Yeek! Chief Gant! We didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. Do you mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat. Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir! Now get out! Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too, then. Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet. You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright. Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. Bless you. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. I see, so the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I've finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. I mean, Chief Gant. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Well, here he is. Take that! Well, Miss Skye?
She just turned around in that chair without turning the chair around. That was impressive.
How do you do that?
How do you do that?
She turned only her head. Oh no. Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans? My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Take that. Just found this in a safe in the chief's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. I knew it. I knew there was someone she was covering for this whole time. I knew it! Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman! Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected, despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I'm gonna snooze the ad.
Yeah, you're almost done.
I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No, the one in the muffler. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident? Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr, huh? So I guess she wasn't lying then. But she was very fishy about her testimony. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling. The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. The twists, the turns! It's true, Theo. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room? Oh, shit. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued. Oh, shit. Alright. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. Let's fucking go. This is the defendant lobby, alright. But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Emma, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. You Phoenix Wright, now I'll have to listen to it on my drive. I know, I was trying... Or wait, no, you said I'll have it to listen to on my drive. Okay, all right. I was trying to start before you had to leave. We got Edgeworth. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? Deal. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Oh yeah, I was gonna put a heating pad on my tongue in case that would help. Long cat heating pad. Okay. Let's see where we're going. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. I gotta make my chair a little bit higher to hold this cat heating pad here. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make! Chief Gant, he knows we know. He knows we know! Motherfucker, why are you here? No. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, you been back to the pool yet? I swear to God, you better tell me why you keep saying this shit. No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? We're all wondering. He always does this pregnant pause, and I could really just slap him across the face for it. Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Propose to you, Humi? What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished. Yes, please? Okay. I mean, I am already married. However, I do have a harem of wives. Queen, would you like to join my wife harem? There are several, but you will be loved. Woo! Okay, we'll have to let Momo know. Momo's my wife manager. Because I don't even remember who all of my wives are, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, Lana says I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. He put her up to this! On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman. We all know you did, and if this was a real jail, they would have it on tape of what really happened. Because you said it in the fucking room. They record that shit. I don't know why they don't do that in this fucking game, but IRL they really do, so you better watch what you say in the jail. In the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. Right. She's the whole thing. Okay, yeah, we got it. Also, for clarification, I'm also part of the harem. Well, no, you're above the harem because you're like actually married to me. He says you can't. Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. I thought I was a bun wife also, but like you're actually married to me. You have the other ring and the other Palpu fruit. None of the harem has that. Literal wife. Oh my god, no. Hold on. No, not stop. Yes, that's what I was typing the same thing. See how? Stop it. Stop. I can't. Mixio King wife, no. Emperor of the wives. Alright, wife emperor is what you can be, Co. You're just the special one is all. She really said I no longer require your services. This is not the time, chat, hold on. But Lana, Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney! He put her up to this, Judge! No. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. I am irate. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. I swear to God. This can't be happening. It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Objection! Thank you! One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. What is even happening now? It's a great question, Circle. We would all love to know. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Edgeworth! Edgeworth! Come on now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut? I decided he has a really condescending voice. No, he says. Humph. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. He said, bitch. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. Oh, shit, Edgy! With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes! I'm yelling, I'm sorry. Let's, Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. Bitch. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh? To whom? As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye! Bun, bun, bun! I request the court hears her testimony. Hold it! Mr. Edgeworth, I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Fuck yeah, edgy! Ho-ho! Whew! Whew! Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. I can't fucking talk. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Fuck yeah. But I did this for you. Hold on, is that John Ralphio? Wait, Queen, you have the worst emote? It's a sub emote? I'm subscribed to you? I have this emote? Hold on. Why don't I have it? You just made it! I don't have it. Hold on. I was like, why did I know you have this? Well, it says I'm subscribed and I have it, but I can't do it. Had to refresh Twitch a million times. Hold on. Don't say anything in chat. I'm reopening my chat doc. It's here. Oh, there's literally nothing in my chat now. Oh no. I broke my chat because I typed in the emote before it loaded. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now I'm connected to the chat. Jesus. I like messed up everything just so I could use this fucking emote. Oh, you saw it in chat? Okay. It didn't show in my chat and it was bothering me. Alright, we're good. We got it now. I made my money the old-fashioned way. I got run over by a Lexus. So good. Okay, the use of this emo is just mwah. I'm ready. I'm ready. Okay. Well, now we can say that all of these people are the worst if we're subscribed to Queen. If you're not, here's how you can follow Queen and then you can subscribe to her. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. We're ready for this. We're ready. We're calling Emma to the stand. Let's go. My name is Emma Skye. My occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Bitch, yes! Why is no one else making the connection that, like, everyone involved in this was also involved in that? Please! It most certainly is! Ugh. Well, okay then. He sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. We sure hope so. Alright, 2 years ago. Testimony. Let's go. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Oh my god, isn't that emote incredible, Storm? There are so many, so many good options to do with it. The defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay. Are they pregnant? Gonna be a parent soon? Oh my god. Beautiful. Incredible. Okay. We gotta press things. I was waiting in my sister's office that day. Hold it. 2 years ago. The defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under then Deputy Chief of Police Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too. The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. Hold it. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. I might have just gotten video and audio of baby duck chirps. Yes. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Skye and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. Hold it again. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Hold it. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark just then. The lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out? Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? There was lightning. Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. Oh yeah, that probably made it even worse too. God. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective? Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Yeah, we want to hear more. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago? Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw? Yes, but At the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? No? This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning. Objection. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Oh shit, well we have one now? Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost. Well, I think I presented here then, right? I can't flip it the right way. I think I present this. Objection. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold! This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Turn it over, honey. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn it... Ah! What's this? We can't, like, put it the right orientation? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed. 2 men appear to be wrestling here. Objection. What is the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? I mean, that's what I thought, that each of them had 1/2, but It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These 2 lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Blew out a dandelion all the way. Yay, I hope it was a good wish. Judge says order, order. But Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. It was good. I need to start getting ready to drive. I'll be lurking. Queen, enjoy the lurkies. Drive safe. Okay, so Detective Goodman is the one who handed her this. Purposely? To hide all of that evidence, like the drawing and then that also list? Interesting, interesting, interesting. Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor, are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. We have a lot to say, Your Honor. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Oh shit. That's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Is something wrong? Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing. Blue motherfucking bandit! Stop. Or wait, Blue Badger. Why do I keep calling him Blue Bandit? Blue Badger. That's that. That thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room. Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated in the court record. Let's see. List of evidence in the SL9 incident. Half of the list was found at Gant's desk. They really didn't look at the back of the list for the past 2 years until right now, right? Well, okay. The second half of the list, though, was being kept secret. Like, Gant was keeping it in his desk. And that was the one that had the picture of the stabbing. The list that they had is the one that had the Blue Badger on the back. But, like, why did they not look at that one before? How would you not see? I feel like you would always see. It was locked in a safe or something. Yeah, it was either in the safe or the desk, I guess. Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Llamas, no. Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. Every premise in these games requires everyone to be a moron. Same with JRPGs. Oh yeah, like I'll figure things out ahead of time and try to present something like way earlier than it wants you to, and I'm like, okay, let's beat around the bush then. Yeah, Llamas, you don't even have to say it. We're just giving you a hard time. Okay, we got some testimony going. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. I guess we'll just press everything and see what we need to do. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in her mind. Excuse me, witness, but can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black? The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. I mean, right. Sometimes you finish cases like days ahead of time, and sometimes you're winging it until they tell you what the twist is. Yeah. Well, and sometimes I'm just like, can we please look it up in the guide at like which one they want me to fucking present it at, because I cannot figure it out and I can't lose more health. Let's see. At the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No. I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. You were knocked to the floor? Dirk had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. OMG, the barbecue place smells so good today. I'm hungry today. Didn't mean to turn into Mario with that x-ray. I'm hungry today. Thank you. After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. Objection. The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, But the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. I like that they've both had to say that. Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, this is the exact scene. It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detective? Objection. Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture? Huh? Oh, well, that's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Oh. Well, what do we have? There's this weird cloth that has her prints on it. I mean, there is the vase. Did we ever figure out whose blood was on the vase? Dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only the fragment found in Chief Gant's office still has lines remaining on it. Well, how can we test it? Okay. Oh, it's this. It says he was stabbed in the back. But then look at the picture. That's like his front. Like he would have had to really like rotate him in another way right at the moment it went dark to stab him in the back. That's what it is for sure, is this autopsy report. Name of deceased, Neil Marshall. Date and time of death. Cause of death, single stab wound, piercing heart/lung. Died from blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. Well, interesting. This part doesn't say that it was in his back. But this one says stabbed in the back. I think it's still this. I'm going to present this. Objection. Your Honor, what do you think about the witness's statement? I'm not sure I follow. It clearly contradicts the, I thought... No? Okay. Well, am I ahead of myself? Maybe I presented it on the wrong spot. I presented it on the wrong spot. I'm gonna try it again, but I'm scared. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction. What? But I still remember it just like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report? Do I have to show that the arm is, like, in front of him? This is hard. Okay, I'll try that. I think it's this part here. Nope. Okay. That's because the drawing stinks? Oh no. Mr. Wright, how could you? Well, that's rude. The act of making an innocent girl cry should warrant the death penalty. Okay, I guess I'll just look at the thing, because I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Oh, you have to point to the tip of the knife? Okay, I think it was on the right statement, though. Okay, that's annoying. Okay, Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster. Oh, that the tip of the knife was already broken. It seemed to be the right statement if you got that far. That's true. Okay. No, I have it open. I just didn't, I didn't want to look at it yet. Thank you, though. I mean, if you want to have it open, maybe, but I also have it open. Oh, I have to hit X. I was like, why is it not presenting? The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer! I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. Objection. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Ah, what's the meaning of this? Objection. Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Objection. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. One of those is wrong. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right. But what does this mean? Objection. The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. Objection. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Objection. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence. Bitch. You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. We be getting somewhere. Order. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted? Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Or your witness isn't trustworthy. Oh no, she's trustworthy. She's just a little girl. Guess I can't open it through the firewall at work. Oh, that's annoying. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it. I have it open. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Drake along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story there is a lie. I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife. What are the chances of there being 2 broken knives? Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one? Oh, shit. Oh, I don't know. Dog! Oh, she's so cute. Neighbor dog. I don't think there's another one. I'm scared to, like, lose health right now, though. Wait, he said there is another one! Oh! Wait, I get it. Oh, okay. It said, click, there is another one. And I was like, aha! There is another one, bitch. You know the one. The one on the thing. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error. Mr. Wright. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us. The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon. I don't know which one I'm supposed to show. Just the trophy? Did Gant murder him? Is it the trophy, though, or is it the picture of him holding the trophy that had the broken knife on it? Do you see what I'm saying? I think it might be the picture. Yeah, it says present the Gantt picture. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm really scared. You can see it. I'm afraid to lose health below halfway like this. Yep, present this. Okay. Take that, take that, take that, take that. I messed it up. I done it too many times. Yeah, no, there's just a lot going on, and it's just so specific about, like, what it wants you to show when. And if you get ahead of yourself, which I always do, it's just hard to figure out what they actually want from you. Let's see. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the awards ceremony. Ah! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Well, yeah, Gantt did the murder. It was Gantt. It was Gantt. It had to have been. Did she for sure see Dark's face? I don't know if she did. Order. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation. Objection. But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. Bum, bum, bum. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. I don't think so. He could have pulled it. Hey, when you know what the answer is, but you're not sure which object represents it, right? It's so tricky. And they only give you so much health. It's so frustrating. But you're too smart for your own good. Thanks. That was sweet. Let's see. He says, but the prosecutor was the one who actually died. Fair. That's true. What's going on here? We don't know. It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. What? No, I have not. Wait, I remember now. I remember everything. It jogged her memory. Witness, Mr. Edgeworth. Kevin, hi, how are ya? What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please? His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back? Mm-hmm. I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time. At the time I drew this picture. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me. Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye? Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. Alright, we got testimony of Emma's recollection. When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. What the fuck? Why? This is certainly most unusual. Objection. Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Hold it! Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further. Lana, what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair. But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence. The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. I remember this case being good, but I forgot how good. It really is so good. When I saw that man raise his knife... Hold it. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Dark? Yes, at least I think it was him. You think? All I could really see were shadows. The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you... I panicked and rushed toward both of them. Hold it. Why would you do something so dangerous? What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall. She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife. Oh, we do have vibe. It's so cute. Lucy was taken. Welcome in. Vibe is adorable. Everybody vibe check. Nope, I typed it wrong. Let's see. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife. Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Hold it. What do you mean you think? It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur. Miss Guy was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural. Yeah, I think I would have just blacked out. I don't think I'd remember any of this. I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife. What you did was very brave, young girl. So then what happened next? Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. Like, how? How could he have been there? Are you sure about this? Of course. See? I even drew a picture of him here. But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable. I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember. Oh, brother, just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. Lit, welcome back. I mean, Crunch, you could do the vibe pyramid. I can't promise that no one will stop you, though. Just got my final coffee from the coffee shop next door since they close tomorrow. No, how sad. I'm glad that you got to go on their last day, though. Had to do adulting, but now I'm done. Yay! I mean, boo for adulting, but yay that you got it done. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with its winning smile and all? That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns. Objection. This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. Objection. We're doing this again. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation? If so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? This one might look like it had 4, but then it's like this one like still doesn't look like it. I don't know. Well, maybe it does. I don't know why it's this, though. You got to pet corgis yesterday at work? So cute! Oh, the blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, There indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room. Mr. Wright. In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike. Well, wait, he said it was in the room? Is it because we have all of these items in the room? I mean, I think we decided it's this, so let's try it. I'm scared. The mysterious blue badger was, in fact, this. But that's... what exactly is that? I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger. Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Is it this way? Or the other way? Because this way they're like coming towards the front more. I think so too. The other way, it's going too far to the back. Yeah. It's really hard to get this straight. Oh my god. Hopefully that's good enough. Oh, nope, that wasn't right. Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew, we cannot accept his claim. Because this way wouldn't be it, I don't think. I guess I'll try it. Nope. Nope. It only lets me use the right joystick. None of it's right. It has the nose too and everything. No. I think the other way was more correct. No, like I know none of these are right, but none of them are working. I guess I'm gonna watch the video because I don't really know what else to do. This is so specific. Are you for real? I don't know what I'm doing wrong at this point.
you